Can't be iffy in these decisions, Kevin. That spotter says clear up, you better be there.
Oh, crash! Two cars slam together, and Harrison Burton takes a wild ride through the grass and up into more traffic, gets tagged, turned around, and 5 cars are in it. Ryan Preece.
I think he missed that inside wall. Harrison Burton, big damage on the 21 car.
And Carson Hocevar, the rookie, gets taken out into that very, very wet grass in the ball field.
Well,
the Wood brothers trying for their 100th ever NASCAR win, and Harrison Burton gets tagged and sent.
Well, this is exactly what you don't want to see happen. Something early in this race where everybody's trying to race hard, and we just talked about those guys going to that third lane, and it puts those guys in the middle lane in a bad spot with the handling of their cars that they hadn't really been in. Let's see what happened, Clint.
Watch the 21, Harrison Burton.
Okay, you see Harrison Burton in the middle of that 3-wide conversation we're talking about, and we are also talking about John Hunter Nemechek kind of being iffy on his move.
Now the 42, John Hunter Nemechek on the outside of Burton, the green and white car, and Brad Keselowski and he make contact.
Keselowski got to his rear bumper, just took a little bit of a love tap, turned him sideways, kind of looked to me like he was on the left corner of that bumper, turned him right down into Harrison Burton.
Well, and it's just what we were talking about, Clint, with everybody trying to feel out exactly what their cars were doing, and those guys in the middle didn't have anything to do with the handling. So, you know, you see Brad into the back. Oh, yeah, you're exactly right, Clint. The 42 car of John Hunter Nemechek just got up a little higher. Brad was probably trying to stay square and being pushed by the guy behind.
Onto the back straightaway. Everybody, and now it's Almirola. They'll get turned right in front of the face of the field. Kyle Busch is around. Ryan Blaney is involved as well. Everybody's scattering, and one car pinned under the Eric Almirola car. That is Alex Bowman, who got wedged underneath the Almirola machine and was sitting crossways across the nose of the Bowman car. Everybody leaves the scene after they wad them up, at least a half a dozen of them, at the front of the field.
Caution on the speedway for the 5th time today for a big crash over on the Alabama Gang Superstretch in front of Mike Bagley.
Alex, it was just a matter of moments before we were going to see something like this, because they have been aggressive since the dropping of the green flag, and it happened when Eric Almirola tried to throw a block on Alex Bowman. Bowman and Almirola got locked together, and in the ensuing crash, others began to spin, including Kyle Busch and Ryan Blaney, a couple of others. Austin Dillon's got some damage as well, but everybody has left the accident scene, and it's a wonder we didn't take half or 3/4 of the field along for the ride as well.
It's a wonder we didn't see it earlier. Unbelievable racing. Now this has major playoff implications that we'll cover for you in a few moments. We work under the caution flag, and we're watching some things that happened down on pit road. Alex, what was it?
Well, Eric Almirola just pulled up alongside Alex Bowman's car. And Steve Post, that's in your pit area. I don't think Almirola was telling him nice job out there.
No, not at all. It's actually right next to my pit area up where Winston is. Alex Bowman is in the first pit box that I have, the 14th pit box here. Eric Almirola is about 4 pit boxes ahead of him. Almirola stopped right alongside of Alex Bowman. I believe there was one finger that came out the window, and then he pulled off into his pit box. But Winston, a lot of damage on the Eric Almirola car and the Alex Bowman car.
Yeah, Eric Almirola has a lot of damage. Same thing for Ryan Blaney, and you mentioned Alex Bowman. Alex Bowman's already pulled away. Looks like somebody just took a can opener and peeled where the left front headlight would be, and they're putting the hood down on the Eric Almirola car. A lot of damage to his car. He had radioed in as soon as it happened. He thought it was killed, but they are going to take a look at it to see if perhaps they can get that car back out there. Mike Bugaravich and the crew looking at it, but they're not moving very fast. So that's going to be a major hit. Alex Bowman, Eric Almirola, 2 of the guys right on the bubble.
Turn 3, can we make it stick? Is there enough room? Beating and banging, swapping paint, give Max McLaughlin. Oh, problem. They got Tanner Gray up on his side. Mason Diaz hard into the outside wall. Big time crash here as we come to complete lap 153. Tanner Gray, Mason Diaz, Max McLaughlin running out of racing room, and Tanner Gray almost went up on his roof. And how about that, stopping right in front of our camera here at start finish. Good to see Tanner moving around inside that race car, but that was a big time hit for Tanner Gray.
There's a car in front of them.
Oh, took a peek there around Ryan Newman, and
there's no real estate.
Oh, man. He again. Holy Toledo. Well, you hit those turtles, and you literally fly in the air.
So a ways back. You must catch him dramatically.
Pay attention to 31.
Happens quick.
Guys, that is the biggest problem with that corner, is that it is single groove. You saw he was half a car out of the groove and had no ability to turn that car.
Took place. A little bit of contact from the 0-4 right there. Larry Barford Jr. turns Mikey Kyle around, and then to look like
the 11 there.
Yeah. The 11 made a little bit of contact. Brett Hudson made a little contact with John Ferrier. John was just trying to move to the high side, I think, to give these cars, to give Mikey Kyle some room to spin there in case he came back up the racetrack.
Look at how close Mikey Kyle gets to going upside down here as he turns around. That car up on two wheels and then back down.
Wow.
That's not something you want to go through. I mean, in your mind, you think you're going over.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Trust me, you don't want to do that.
I laugh and I refer to Phil. You have actually rolled over 10 times, a barrel roll, going down that backstretch, I believe.
Well, going into turn one, actually.
Turn one.
Sure it is.
Not fun.
Not at all. Not at all.
Take another look.
I think, one of the things here is obviously guys are moving up. You see that the 76 there moves up across.
Brian Scott. Oh, and the 16 is also involved. That's Colin Brown, and now the fire is the 66 is Stephen Wallace. Just that quickly.
Yeah, that was a pretty bad crash down there. It looked like a lot of water coming out of the cars.
Started in turn
Yeah, they're
one.
okay.
Stephen's okay. He's climbing out. You can breathe all right, Rusty.
He's out.
There he is.
Yeah, it's good to see. See here, Brian Scott. He was the other car that was involved in this.
Oh, and he gets a little help. That's Wimmer.
Yeah. And he collects up Brown there. And Stephen Wallace, just a victim there. Drives up underneath the back of it.
Yeah, and you're just going so fast and things happen so quickly here. You just don't have a chance to react. You can see Stephen, but he's running wide open and trying to go. And
Kelly Byers does a nice job of just escaping all of that. We are going to get a red flag from NASCAR.
The last little shot we had, the 42 car of A.J. Allmendinger and the 88 car Brad Keselowski were together. Pretty close getting into the corner.
This all started way back in turn 4. These guys battling in the pack for position. The 1 is Yaley, the 88 Keselowski, the 42 of Allmendinger.
88 car Keselowski, it's a big run off of turn 4. It's a big drag race down into turn 1. 3 wide, 4 wide, and that's not what you want to do. And he gets tagged in the right rear quarter panel. Allmendinger does, and Keselowski's like, where did this come from? I didn't even see that one coming. That was just one freak accident, and the one car got in the back of that, and that's what started the whole thing.
Yeah, Brad Keselowski really got blindsided. He didn't see this coming at all. You see this 42 car gets sideways, gets into the right rear quarter panel, and then this 88 car just slams the wall and up in the air.
Guys, I don't know if I've seen a harder wreck before going into turn 1 of my life. Thing on fire. Again, the soft wall that NASCAR's got at most all these racetracks really held up, and it was a great thing. And we saw Brad get out of the car. That's great. And boy, I'll tell you what, that reminds me of some bad accidents we've seen in this sport in the past. But thank gosh the kid walked away. Terrible impact.
It gives you a sense of how fast these cars are going. Entering this corner right here, you see that car just hit the wall, get up in the air. These cars are going over 200 miles an hour getting into that corner.
Actually danced on the hood of the 42 cars, what kept it up in the air, and Keselowski's car was along that right rear tire along the soft wall. That saved for Barry, then came back down to rest.
Uh-oh, Jeff Fuller's having problems as he starts off turn 2 there.
Looks as though a flat tire. Oh, my!
Dennis Setzer went way up in the air after contact there.
Fuller couldn't control the car. Looked as though...
This is just bump drafting gone bad. Watch the 23 of Spencer Gallagher,
Like he might have just got into the back end of that 7 truck just enough.
He got out to the right side of the bumper, Vince, and I think that's what turned Brett Moffitt around.
Luckily, no more than just a couple involved. You can see right there.
Maybe that's why.
Tell you another guy that's on the move is Austin Cindric.
Oh, we got another one. Is that the 19?
Yep.
Same situation. Wow.
And right under him. Oh, and into the wall. Goes the 40. Oh, my gosh.
Old Custer. Nowhere to go there. Big fire. He had a big impact. Luckily, seeing him get out of the race car right now, because that was a big impact to that inside barrier.
The AMR safety crew is there right away, but he just submarined the 19 of Martin Truex there.
Yeah, I bet we're going to go back and see a very similar situation with Martin Truex Jr. and the visibility down that back straightaway. I think once the field gets strung out, Mike, I think
6 miles left, and we got a crash. Oh. Hard contact. Noah Gragson head on into the outside wall.
Little contact. Jeb and Moffitt got together.
Dale, it was just like you were talking about earlier. The push really needs to come on the right half bumper of the car. It seemed like Jeb got on the left side bumper.
Oh, let's go down. Oh, my goodness.
Sprague got involved. Corelli's involved. Bodine is involved, and I'm not sure where that started, but it's definitely ahead of them.
Corelli said, I'm okay. I think that was Corelli's voice said, I'm okay, because he pounded that ball hard.
That one's going to have to come behind the wall.
Corelli talking to the chest round team. Boy, he hit it, got airborne a little bit. Reminiscent of what happened yesterday to Musgrave. Let's take another look at it.
There we see Barry Bodine is going to spin. He's going up and hit the wall. Now Corelli's trying to go by, and bam, look at this.
Man.
Oh, man, it almost goes over. And also Sprague is
20 to the inside, and there's still 3, 4, 5 wide mid-pack.
Oh, we got cars in the fence on the back straightaway. Kurt Busch hard in the wall. They were 3 or 4 wide out there. Looks like Stenhouse is being held. Oh, Kurt's wrecking the car. Kurt's in the fence. 34's in the fence. Looks like he blew a tire and just lost control of the car. Got into 34 and turned him around. So here's contact with the wall. And that will cut the tire down right here. Or, yeah, either that or he just gets turned by the 17. I believe he had a flat tire as well. And that takes the 34 McDowell along for the ride. There he is. Yeah, so I think Stenhouse was the first one in the fence with all his cars side by side there. Not enough room. Yeah, Kurt Busch squeezing the 17 into the wall. And look at here, maybe the 17, a little angry with that. Turns him into McDowell. Almost flips the 34 car. That temper's flaring here on these restarts. I think we're going to get another one just like that. More angry drivers at the end of it.
More angry than that?
Yeah, I mean, this is for all the marbles right here. And this is going on in the back of the pack for whatever, 20th, 25th place. So you can imagine how angry you'd be if you was up front and this went on.
Well, the 40.
Corey LaJoie, Kyle Larson side by side, green flag back in the air.
See Larson keep his left front fender right against Corey LaJoie. Now he's got a battle for second. Darrell Wallace Jr. pulls to the inside.
Darrell Wallace Jr. had a lot better restart that time, but it's the 6 of Kyle Larson that gets in and behind him. Wow! Take a look at this, the 14 of Daniel Suarez up on his side.
Look at the damage to the right front corner of that Toyota.
Sliding into that's where they get off the racetrack to go to pit road. Daniel Suarez in that 14 up on 2 wheels now because he hit the barrier.
Well, you see more cars getting into the wall here in Wall Stadium. Oh, and up and over. Almost. Wow. Anthony Sesley in the 11 and then caught up in it. Blake Varney, unfortunately, in the 14.
Wow, he almost went out of there. Anthony Sesley, son of Tony Sesley, a car owner for years and years and years, as we watch Blake with a right front down, but doesn't look like he has a lot of other damage. Maybe he can get in the pits and get that changed.
Here's a look at it again. It started down the backstretch.
Yeah. Goodale got loose, had to check up. Okay, wow.
The 14 got into Sapienza in the 36, and then he collected the 11, and there goes Cecily.
Not a good night. Again, watch Goodale. Goodale comes off, gets loose, has to get on the brakes. Cecily goes to the outside, but Sapienza comes up and getting this 14. Again, nowhere to go for anybody, just racing, but that tight bull ring speed.
Well, Cecily's down on pit road, and Derek's in his pits.
Goes for a ride.
I think he's going to save it.
Caution is out. Nice save by Joey Logano. But look what he's got left.
I just commented that that group back there was closing on this front crowd here in a hurry. I think what happened was Logano got to the 18 car of Kyle Busch, might have had to check up a teeny bit, and when he did, Michael got into the back of him, and man, that could have been a whole lot worse than what it turned out to be. He was headed for the end of that wall.
You're riding with Logano.
It's no one's really fault there, you know. We just had a run on Kyle there, and really nowhere to go as the cars underneath just broke up and they were trying to reattach, so they had no speed. And you know, I checked up just a little bit, and it wasn't Michael's fault. You know, we just got shoved around. You know, it's just it's a product of the racing we're having right now, and you know, sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield. So that was the bug, so that's not good. Cindric's really loose on the nose of that 11 car. Look at the two car. Got his hands full. Parker.
And guys, as we saw them get rid of that Ford of Mike McDowell, the 210.
Oh, he's fun. Here's the big wreck right here. The 34
stay where you are. Stay where you are.
The 19's
Stay where you are.
Let's see if 19 gets any big damage right here so far. Doesn't look like any big hits. Oh, the right front.
Yeah, the right front fender torn off. And so the caution comes out with 59 laps to go. Martin Truex Jr. had fought to within 10 points of Ryan Blaney, who was involved in an accident earlier in the race. Again, the two fighting to be the top in points. They know that at least one of them will get in.
I hear what Martin's saying. I'm not so sure. I don't agree with him. I mean, you've gained that many points. Why be in the middle of it? Enough guys are laying back at the back of the pack. You could have laid back with them and still been 10 positions ahead of Blaney.
I don't agree.
Well, the facts are facts. That's the way it was.
But
There was room to go.
To the good up front. I mean, if he goes back to 15th, he's out. He's behind Blaney.
There was 10 people behind him.
Yeah,
not everybody was racing. Not everybody was up there racing. There were some people laying back.
Either way, he's wrecked with the right front off it at this point.
Either way,
you know this debate you just heard? This is what every crew chief and driver does in the field.
You heard Truex. He said it. We shouldn't have been up there.
Reddick just clipping the back bumper of McDowell, turns him into the outside wall.
It was Ross Chastain in the one that was right behind the 19. You'll see it right here as the C's kind of part and it becomes 3 wide.
Yeah, it's Daytona. It's that whole debate we just had, this whole wreck we just had is it is Daytona. It's what the situation you get put into.
See Chase Elliott doing just a nice job slowing down, luckily not getting run over from behind. Fortunately for McDowell, that is going to hurt.
You know, oh, look at Corey LaJoie. Yeah, Corey's always runs well. I don't know how much damage is though that car. Intensity picking up. Just weren't lined up for the junior when he started pushing him.
Let's watch the damage on the 19. He's trying to get back to the pits.
Yeah, without tearing up more of that.
Trying to go
right
as
front.
slow as he can without having that right front tire. You see the tire trying to.
So
all right.
If you mentioned, let's find. Well, all right, take a second here. The 19 is right here. So he's about the 4th car in line. Because you were calling it live, they look pretty good. So let's take a look at where he gets in this accident, Jeff.
Yeah, he just, he like we showed earlier, he can't see all this starting to happen. So he starts seeing right now, drivers are slowing up. He tries to get slowed up, just got hit just in the back a little bit, shot him to the right. He tried to get slowed down to keep from hitting the wall and came back across the racetrack.
Look at that tire pop and blow that right front fender off. I was like, did he make contact with the right front fender on the wall, or what happened there? Right here, watch this right front fender. Boom.
Boom.
That's wild.
So Steve,
I was wondering where the fender came off. That's crazy.
So Steve, the great thing for Martin Truex Jr. is he said the steering's fine.
Yeah.
So right now that means they've got body damage, and if he can get himself, if the steering is indeed fine and the car drives okay, if he can get himself in the middle of the.
Let's go back, take another look. What happened?
Oh, we see the Kurt Busch get turned around when Bobby Hamilton backed off. Joe Ruttman ran in the back of him. Now watch this. These trucks almost get by, but Randy Renfro just gets clipped.
That's Randy Tolsma and also Marty Houston wrapped up in that. Don't know how much damage they had on their trucks.
Left of your screen is Kyle Busch, and around goes Kyle Larson.
Ooh, man, oh, big impact.
Man.
Thank God that safer barrier's there, but that was still a huge impact.
Second caution of the day, lap 48.
That thing hit head on.
Did you see it go up in the air, DW?
It reminded me of when Denny Hamlin wrecked down here off turn 4 a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I see him moving around inside there.
Coming.
Oh, yeah, you can see right there. Left rear tire goes out, and he's lost control. At this moment, he's trying to keep it going straight.
Yeah.
Hits the outside wall.
This is the one that's going to hurt. Watch this thing come down through here. Head on into that inside wall.
Just
Roof
nothing
flap.
he can do at this point.
Just hang on. And
Straight into the safer barrier.
Watch that safer barrier. Watch that thing flex and shoot that car back out.
Now you're talking about a 3,400-pound piece of machinery lifted all 4 wheels up in the ground and spins it around like a top.
Probably running about 140, maybe 50 miles an hour, even
in the scrub,
at that point, trying to scrub off speed.
As it scrubs off speed, still carrying a tremendous amount of speed.
Just can't get the left rear down. The car wants to turn right, hits that outside wall. And watch this safer barrier. I mean, that thing bowed in.
Husqvarna is the largest outdoor power equipment producer in the world. Visit Husqvarna.com.
He just gets through the middle of the corner and off the corner so well.
He can pick up the
trouble. Turn 4. Trying to get past Paul Menard. A.J. Allmendinger spins. And Allgaier and Gilliland have a horrible collision right at the start-finish line.
Oh, that's bad.
It is David Gilliland's car that comes to a halt in flames.
Well, he's
all
in
but
there
destroyed.
Window net going down. That's a beautiful thing. Justin Allgaier as well as David Gilliland.
Car gets a little squirrely with him, gets a little loose, and here we go.
And it's on.
Boy, when he comes down the hill and hits that
Allgaier.
51, and that turned him right into Gilliland when he did that.
And watch that red car shoot across the track right into the path of David Gilliland.
And I guarantee you Gilliland was on it trying to get through it without getting in it, and he didn't quite make it. And that is unbelievable crash. Gosh. Wow. I see wrecks like this, and I think about, well, back in the day, you wouldn't probably walk away from that car. They'd have to help you. And we're down to a minute and a half here, so we're running. I mean, it's not going to be many more laps.
Denny Hamlin goes to the top of the chart with Austin Dillon.
Got one sideways.
And around turn 1 in the wall. And that is Reed Sorensen.
I think it was that quarter panel and the damage he had to the rear of that car that probably caused that accident.
Clint Boyer had been trying to get past Sorensen.
to no avail.
And this group had really started getting dicey. You could start to see it as they were coming off turn 4 down the front straightaway.
I just wonder, Larry, if that flapping right rear quarter panel maybe cut his right rear tire down, and that's what created this problem.
Will stop the clock in this session.
This is the fear that these guys all had with this kind of qualifying, that there would be some cars that would get torn up by guys trying to make moves that they shouldn't really be making, but they're desperate to make them. Running really tight, close together. Ooh, it looked like Boyer started to go the inside and then shot back to the right, and when he did, he clipped the back of the 44 of Sorensen.
Hard to tell from that angle if perhaps Boyer got turned by the car behind him.
It's kind of hard to tell. These two guys were mad at each other leaving pit road.
And Clint Boyer has been checked and released. He's okay, but you're behind the 44. What do you see and what are you thinking?
Well, first of all, I was behind the 44. He come flying around, come up on the apron, jumps in front of me, then runs over the 51, stacks us all up, and I run into him. It's idiotic to be out here doing this anyway. There's no sense in being able to trying to put on some cute show for whatever the hell this is. Then you got a guy out there in desperation doing this crap like this. I mean, it's just, there's